In case you don't remember this rugged character, meet Tom Lynott, Winchester Western's district manager from Salt Lake City, a Winchester man from way back. And we hope you haven't forgotten Winchester's man in Africa, David Omni, one of East Africa's leading professional hunters.
Dave, old buddy, it's sure nice to have you over here in the United States. I didn't think I'd get to see you again this soon. Last time that I did run into you was over in Arusha when I was waving goodbye to you at the airport about a year ago. What are you doing over here anyhow?
Well, I've been over here hunting, Tom. I went up to Alaska, and then in the west, and then over here on the East Coast.
What have you been shooting, Dave?
Oh, I shot brown bear, moose, caribou, antelope, and birds and pheasant.
Well, by gosh, that sounds like you've had quite a cross-cut of North American big game hunting. How do you compare it with your African game as far as dangerous game and plentifulness and all of that?
Well, I think it's very good indeed, Tom. You've got a lot of game here. But you haven't got the variety we have, of course. But otherwise, the hunting is very good, considering the number of people after these animals. Very good, and I had a wonderful time up in Alaska with those brown bears. They're a very hard animal to kill.
Boy, they go under the heading of dangerous game in my book. Did you get one of these big old boys while you were up there?
Yes, I did, and if you'll stop talking, I'll turn the movie on. We'll see how it went.
Well, I'd sure like to see it, my guy.
As you know, Dave and Tom completely checked out the new Winchester and Western lines of guns and ammunition in East Africa during the fall of 1963. Really proved them on the world's toughest testing grounds, Safari. But what would Dave think of the same Winchesters, the same hard-hitting Winchester and Western ammunition under American hunting conditions? That's what we really wanted to find out all along. So we brought him over to try his luck. North and south, east and west, from Alaska to Maine. We started with North America's big stuff, down on the Alaska Peninsula, about 350 miles south of Anchorage. No roads in this part of the world. You either fly from camp to camp, or you just don't go. We teamed Dave up with Ron Hayes, one of Alaska's top guides and outfitters, and just about the best bush pilot in the business.
This is where we're going to hunt, right over in that canyon.
Looks very nice, Ron. How about game? Will we find everything here or not?
I think we should be able to get moose, brown bear, and caribou right here from this one camp, Dave.
How about in the stream? Is there odd trout or two, or salmon or something?
We'll get some dollies out of here, and I know we should catch some rainbow and grayling.
Good, that's wonderful.
What do you say we go over and set up our tents and get an early start in the morning?
Yes, fine.
Brown bear, the largest, most dangerous trophy in North America, and generally just as mean as he is big. We tagged the Winchester Model 70 .338 Magnum, the Alaskan, several years ago. And now Dave is going to learn for himself whether it really deserves its name. This was what Dave had been waiting for, and the 250-grain silver tip was elected to do the job. Yes, this is the time for silver tip, when you've got to count on extra knockdown punch coupled with deep controlled expansion. Ron tells Dave to go in by himself, something he wouldn't do with anyone less than an expert hunter, with anything less than a completely reliable rifle. Holy cow, there's two of them. He's down. Looks like he's had it, but let's be sure. Despite the fact that Dave's an old pro, in Alaska as well as Africa, it's the guide's job to go in first whenever you have a dangerous animal down. And you'll notice he's carrying a Model 70 .338 Magnum, too. He learned years ago it's a built-in insurance policy. Okay, you've got your bear. Nice going, Dave. He's a good one, and what a rug he'll make. Anytime you get a one-shot kill on one of these monsters, you know you're a darn good shot, and you're using the right combination of gun and ammunition. This is something hunters the world over have known for years. A dependable and accurate Winchester Model 70, loaded with Winchester or Western ammunition, designed to do a specific job, can often spell the difference between success and failure on a trophy hunt. The next order of business was moose, and Dave switched over to one of the new Model 70 .300 Winchester Magnums, knowing in advance it had more than enough wallop to handle any moose. This shot, just like most of this picture, was filmed in the pouring rain and sleet, proving again how the new Model 70 with its free-floating barrel holds its zero under any conditions. At this time of year, most bull moose will respond rapidly to a call. They're not certain whether it's a lonely lady moose looking for companionship or another bull trying to invade the harem. He got the message. See that? The first shot took him right below the eyes, and he didn't do much more than stagger. The second, a perfectly placed neck shot with a 180-grain power point, really did the job. We discovered later that the first one smashed its way through heavy nose bone and cartilage and lodged in the massive neck muscles behind the spine, just missing the vertebrae by less than a quarter inch. Big country, big animals. That's Alaska, and a happy hunting ground for any sportsman. But now it's time for a change. Less than a week later, Dave found himself in Maine, right in the middle of an old-fashioned coon hunt. Dave's using one of the 5 great new Winchester 22s, the handsome and rugged Model 255 lever action, chambered for the small but highly potent 22 Winchester Magnum. Incidentally, there'll be a lot of happy grins when the boys, big and little, cast their eyes on the new 22 Deluxe models. Be on the lookout for them. One of Dave's favorite rifles that he never got to use in Africa is the sleek, handsome Winchester Model 100 automatic, all decked out with a new checkering pattern and satin smooth finish. And here's his target. That did it. No, he's nowhere near the size of an Alaska brownie, but as Maine black bear go, he's respectable and excellent proof of the fast-firing reliability of the Model 100.
Yep, he's had him. Well, he's pretty. What's his coat like?
Nice coat.
That's good coat. How heavy will he go?
Oh, about 200.
Oh, I don't think he'll be that much.
Oh, yes, he's fat.
Sir?
Time of year.
Yes, he has got a nice coat, hasn't he?
Yes.
Solid, too.
Yes.
Well, thanks a lot, Woody. I really enjoyed shooting that bear. First one I've seen in Maine.
Well, that Winchester knocks him down. Quick, too.
Well, that's it, Tom. That's the end of the big game hunting. How'd you like that?
Gee whiz, Dave. It looks like you had a ball up there. Doggone. I'd sure like to have been with you.
Well, it would have been fun.
How did the new Model 70 work out? Looks like you did a pretty good job with it.
Fine, Tom. Worked wonderfully. In the movies, it looks as if we had sunlight, but it wasn't really. It was raining and sleet all the time, and it really held up beautifully.
Well, you sure did a swell job with it. While you were fooling around all over the country, did you get any bird shooting?
Oh, yes. Yes, we had lots of bird shooting. It's very good indeed. In fact, it's almost as good as sandgrouse in Tanganyika.
Oh, boy, that was good then.
Hang on a moment. I'll just show you some here.
While in Alaska, Dave and Ron got in some of the world's best waterfowl shooting and used some of the world's best equipment while doing it. The new Winchester Model 1200 slide-action shotgun and the fabulous Model 1400 automatic, loaded with Super X and Super Speed plastic Mark V shells. Emperor geese, and they're coming right over Dave's head. Beautiful. Now there's a combination that really works. 2 great new high-quality shotguns from Winchester with their magazines full of the finest performing long-range plastic shot shells money can buy. No question about quality here. Only the best guns and most superior ammunition can take this kind of continuous punishment. But even if it was wet and cold, Dave enjoyed every minute of it. After all, you have to expect some inconvenience when you're after a rare bird like this one. And the emperor goose is rare, at least in the eyes of shooters outside the Alaskan Peninsula. But emperor or Canadian, puddle ducks or broadbills, one thing you can count on. If you're a Winchester man and you're loaded up with Winchester or Western plastic Mark V's, the only issue in doubt is the proper lead. And it's no different in Montana's Big Sky country, where Dave spent a couple of happy days chasing sage grouse. They're big birds, yes, but just as tricky as any member of the grouse family. You're doing well if you're down one out of a rise, even with a Model 1200 and Mark V's. This is one of Mark V's really great features. From short range to a barrel-stretching long shot, you always get dense, uniform patterns. No, Mark V won't turn you into one of those magical 100-yard shooters you hear about from time to time. But at sensible hunting ranges, you're ready to tackle the best of them. Dave's hunting companions have had pretty good luck, too. John Henry Smith, when he isn't hunting, turns out some of the best chow in Montana. You guessed it, he's a Winchester man, too. His other buddy is Bill Farton, publisher of Fishing and Hunting News. That's a 101 he's toting, and the line count looks 100% red.
You know,
That's good shooting it, you know.
Yes, actually, I think we ought to do this a little more often.
I hadn't realized how big these birds were, you know.
Did you ever see anything like this?
No, I haven't. But we got a bird in Africa, that's a busted. And he's just about as big, only not as heavy as this. I always thought prairie chickens were small.
This is a very heavy bird, very heavy.
What is that? Is that a sage hen or a prairie chicken now?
This is known as our sage hen.
That's the sage hen. What is a prairie chicken?
They're a smaller bird. Basically, the features of them are the same.
Yeah?
Appear to be the same.
I think so, yes.
That's a very heavy bird. I'd say that must be 8 or 9 pounds.
I think that's a real good bird. All 4 of these are real good birds.
Yeah? Is there a member of the grouse family, are they? With these,
Oh, yes, I think they are.
Like this?
From sage grouse to eider ducks, just a few thousand miles from the middle of Montana to 10 miles off the Maine coast at Booth Bay Harbor. This is offshore shooting at its very best. And if you don't get slightly seasick, you're in for a lot of fun and fast action. Even though the decoys are 40 yards from the floating blind, the eider is liable to fly in anywhere at any range. They come. Chalk up 2 more for Mark V and Winchester's great new slide action and automatic shotguns. Just like Dave, thousands of American sportsmen have proved this combination to themselves beyond any doubt on American game under every conceivable hunting situation. Okay, the performance looked pretty good on waterfowl, but how about upland birds? Dakota pheasants may be just a little bit wilder than preserve birds, but when they're in the air and putting distance between you and your gun barrel, you still have to go through all the right motions, and it helps a lot if you use the right ammunition. Just check a couple of simple points. Are the shells red? Do they say Western Super X or perhaps Winchester Super Speed? Above all, do they say Mark V? Okay, you're in good company. And if the gun is a Winchester, either the top of the ladder Model 21 or the already highly popular new Winchester Model 1200 slide action, you're ready for action with anything that flies or runs. Hold it now, the dog's on point again. There's no doubt about it. Mark V really does make a difference. Now for a shift in targets. The bob-white quail, who often receives the reverence of an elder statesman, Winchester Ranger, and Western expert polyformed Mark V plastic shells are fast becoming a household word. And for the best of reasons. Popularly priced Ranger and expert plastic loads actually match the premium-priced loads of other manufacturers. And you get all the benefits of Mark V in the bargain. It doesn't matter what upland game you're after, quail, rabbit, grouse, or the handsome chucker partridge. When you've got a Winchester shotgun and a Ranger or expert shot shell working with you, the game's made just that much easier. Now, old Mr. Brains, the wild turkey, is another story, which Dave found out in a hurry. You need all the help you can get on this one. And a tightly choked Winchester Model 1200 with the new ventilated rib and a few high brass compression formed plastic Mark Vs help reduce the odds considerably. Of all the great American game birds, this one almost has to be king. And you can't blame Dave for feeling just a little bit proud when he bagged his first one. Dave's all set to give his Model 1400 automatic another real workout on mallards. Here comes the first one. Nice shot. The duck hasn't been hatched yet that can fly through a Mark V pattern. Here's another. See what we mean about the Model 1400 and Winchester and Western plastic Mark V loads? In 1963, Dave was our Winchester Man in Africa. In 1964, he met a lot of other Winchester men, from Alaska to Maine. Men who depend on Winchester guns and the great lines of Winchester and Western ammunition. And all during 1965, the hunters and shooters in your areas will be able to meet a Winchester Man. You.
Well, that's it. How'd you like that?
Real well, Dave. By gosh, you got a chance to get in some real good shooting there. You gave that 12 and 1400 shotgun pretty good working over on both of them. How'd you like them?
Oh, fine. Fine. We gave them a hard time in bad weather, and everything was perfect.
You sure pulled some skyscrapers down with those new plastic Mark V shot shells, Dave.
Well, thank you very much, Tom. You have to get lucky once in a while. But here's something that ought to make you happy. Everyone I talked to all over the country, they were very happy with the Winchester Western products. They really liked them.
Well, I'm real pleased to hear you say that. I've found that generally pretty true out in our country, too. How much longer are you going to be around, Dave?
Oh, I'm off tomorrow. I've got to get back to Nairobi and go on safari again. So the holiday's over now.
Gee whiz, I'd sure like to be going back to Nairobi with you again.
Well, I'd like to see you out there sometime.
Well, good luck to you, boy. You just might do that.
Well, thank you.